If you are planning to become a real estate agent in Ontario and wondering what are the steps, what the cost is, and what's the registration procedure, then this video is for you. What's up everyone, my name is Parth and this is my first YouTube video, and through this channel I will share my personal journey into real estate, my finance and all that stuff. So stay tuned. So let's begin and jump into the very first question, how to become a real estate agent in Ontario, Canada. So there are basically 3 steps into that, but before we jump into that, in order to get your admission, you need to fulfill some basic requirements. So let's look at that. What are the basic requirements? So the very first one, you need to have a good understanding of English. You need to have a Canadian secondary diploma or a GED certificate. And if you're not from Canada, you can have an equivalent certificate from that as well. You need to be a Canadian resident. There is a $75 application fee, so when you apply, you need to pay for that. And of course, the age limit, you need to be at least 18 years and above to enroll in this course. So once you have done all the procedure and gone through the registration procedure, you will be able to take the courses once it's approved. So the very first step, it's pre-registration. It's basically an e-learning. So in this phase, there will be 5 courses, 2 simulation sessions, and 4 exams. At present, all simulation and all the courses can be done online. So you don't need to visit over there. It's completely online. In order to finish all the courses, you have to follow a certain pathway. So for example, you need to select course 1, course 2, course 3. You cannot jump on course 2 and directly jump on course 4. So it's a certain pathway, you need to go through that. And below is the pathway. By far, this is the most important and amazing thing in all your whole registration process. You will learn so many new things about real estate, especially if you're something like me who's new to Canada. If you're like me, you will enjoy most of the part, but sometimes it's repetitive. And keep in mind that you will have 2 years once you register. So for example, if you register for a course 1 today, you will have 2 years to finish all the 5 courses, 2 simulation and 4 exams. Now, once you have finished all the courses, your e-learning courses and sim sessions, the next stage would be registration process. So step 2, registration. So in order to get you registered, you need to find a brokerage because they can only do your registration process. I would highly recommend start looking for a brokerage when you are in course 3 or 4 and do at least look for 5 to 6 brokerages. There are many aspects you should look into brokerages, but that's a big segment and I will make a whole video about it later on. Of course, the most important would be the training and the people you will work with. So once you make a list of all the potential brokerage you want to work with, contact them through email, and if they didn't respond, call them. So once you decided which broker to go with, they will help you through your registration process. Now let's take a look at the document you need to get in order to do your registration process. So the very first document would be criminal and judicial check. This can be done from a commissioner website. I will link it in the description below. And you can also go in your local police authority at your local area and ask them for this certificate. I would highly recommend to get your criminal check and judicial certificate when you're in course 4, or I would say course 3 or course 4. In my case, it took about 4 to 5 days to arrive. I did an online application in Waterloo region and it took about 4 to 5 days, yes. So once you get a certificate, after that, you need to head over the RECO website and fill out the new salesperson registration form. If you are someone who gets scared in filling all the forms, then my advice is to look prior to it, not at the time when you do your submission. So once you fill the form, you need to forward it to your broker of record and they will sign and they will forward it to RECO. Remember, you don't have to do anything in that. They will forward your application to RECO. Once submitted, it can take about anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. In my case, it took about 3 days. Once you get your ID, the RECO will provide you an email where you can pay your additional charges, that's dues and for error and omission things and insurance purposes. So this is the registration phase. The next step would be the post-registration. So step 3, post-registration. Let's look at that. Again, this is basically additional more e-learning as you have done below. But for this one, you will have 1 year to finish all your courses. In this one, you have to take 1 compliant course and 2 additional courses. So basically 3 courses. In this one, there will be 5 courses and out of them, you need to select 2 courses. So 2 courses from that and 1 compliance course. You can take more courses, but RECO requirement at least 2 courses. I would highly recommend to finish this within your 2 months of your registration process, because once you get the ball rolling, you will be very busy and you will have a tough time to finish all these courses. I was excited to learn more about the residential on investment side, so I took that course. Now the next question, how long does it take to complete the whole course and whole process? So let's check it out. In this one, I will show you the recommended time given by Humber, and I will also share my personal time and personal calendar. So if you go on to RECO website, it's totally clear that each segment will require a certain amount of time. So let's look at it over here. So let's say the course 1, it will take about 40 hours, course 2, 150 hours, course 3, 95 hours, and so on. So if you calculate all the total things, it is about 480 hours, including the exams. Now remember, some student might need less time and some might need more time. It depends totally what your timetable is, how you took all the courses, and what your time frame would be. The one important thing I would like to mention over here is that when you are planning to take your exams, let's say you finish your course today and you are planning to book an exam, it could be take anywhere from 15 to 20 days. In my case, it was always 20 days before. So let's say if I finish my course on 1st May, then the next available date for the exam of that date would be 20 or 25th May. So please keep that time frame also in your timeline. Now let's talk about my journey. So I enrolled my first course on mid-May in 2020, and I finished the whole segment and whole registration and pre-registration process about mid-January 2021. So basically I took about 7 months. If you need any more information, reach out to me or comment below. I would be happy to help you out. Now consider, during that time I was also working full-time and also doing a part-time job. So this is something I do on as a part-time basis, not a full-time study. And it all depends on your situation. I have seen some people can finish course in 4.5 to 5 months, and some took a year or more than that, but depends on what you are comfortable with. I recommend you enjoy the process rather than rushing it out, because there are so much learning into it. But of course, don't take two full years. You can definitely finish then I did it in 7 months doing part-time, so definitely you can do it. Another important thing is about taxes. Can you consider all this fees payment into your taxes? I haven't done it yet, but I will definitely keep you posted when I do my taxes for this year. Now the third question is, how much does it cost to become a real estate agent in Ontario, Canada? So for the purpose of this, I have segmented into 3 main categories of this. So first is the education, the second is the registration, and the third is the ongoing cost. So your education will include an application fee that is $75, and all your courses, simulation, and exams fee roughly about $3,590. Now keep in mind, this is all based on the e-learning and slides and pictures and videos. Now if you need any extra support of virtual support, they will charge you more for that. After that, post-registration courses, it's $570. So $300 is for compliance, and then $135 for each elective, so 2 electives. Now the next phase is the registration phase. So once you have done with all your studies and e-learning, the next would be the registration phase after that. So the very first step you need to do in this registration phase is to get your criminal and judicial check done. In my case, it was $40. It could range from anywhere between $40 to $60 depending your local area. I'll post a link in the description below from where you can get your police check done. After that, RECO fees comes in. It's $590. So once you get your ID, you also need to pay error and omission insurance fees. That is $475. And the next step would be to pay fees to your local board. In my case, it's Cambridge and Kitchener-Waterloo region. So it's $1,000, but check with your local area how much do they cost it. It might be more different in Toronto and Windsor area. It might be higher or lower, but check with your local board. In addition to that, you also have to pay initiation fee for CREA and OREA, which is $200 each, so $400 for both. Now, CREA and OREA do have their annual dues, which is due annually. So for CREA, it's $310, and for OREA, it's $110. Apart from this, you also have to pay a monthly fee to your board. In my case, it's Cambridge board, so it comes at $97.44. Now let's talk about the ongoing cost. After you get registration, in order to continue your license, this will be your ongoing cost. So some payment would be monthly and some would be annually. So do check and keep in mind about that. So the very first would be the monthly desk fee from a brokerage. Some brokerage charge desk fee and some not. In my case, it's $157. So annually, it's about $1,884. The next one would be the RECO insurance fees. That is $475 yearly. The other one would be the license renewal fee. That's $390 for 2 years. So yearly, it's $195. So the total ongoing cost, in my case, it's $2,554 in order for me to continue and maintain my license. Now keep in mind, this does not include all the other expenses you need in order for you to run your business. That would be your car insurance, phone bills, your CRM, your website, your branding, your marketing campaign, and all the tools you require and all the office supplies as well. So all the tools you require to run the business. So here's a quick recap on the screen. Take a moment and pause the screen so you can go through all the things. So if I forgot or missed any of the cost, comment on the video below, and sorry for that. Or even if you have any questions about getting your license or registration process, just shoot me an DM and or comment below, and I would happy to help you out.